Hello, and welcome back to Sleepy Health. Tonight, let your breathing slow as we gently explore the kidneys, two quiet, hardworking organs that never sleep, never complain, and rarely ask for attention until they truly need it. As your body relaxes, imagine these small, bean-shaped structures resting deep in your lower back, softly filtering life itself, moment after moment, breath after breath. The kidneys are natural cleaners, calm guardians of balance. Every minute, they receive blood filled with nutrients, waste products, minerals, and excess fluids. With remarkable precision, they decide what stays and what must gently leave the body. Useful substances are returned to circulation, while waste is transformed into urine, carried away without effort or awareness. This process happens continuously, even as you sleep, even as your thoughts fade and your muscles release their tension. Beyond filtering waste, the kidneys quietly manage some of the most important systems in your body. They regulate water balance, ensuring cells neither swell nor shrink. They carefully control electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and calcium, keeping your heartbeat steady and your nerves calm. They also play a key role in controlling blood pressure, releasing hormones that adjust blood vessel tension in response to your body's needs. In the background, they stimulate the production of red blood cells and help activate vitamin D, supporting strong bones and healthy muscles. Now gently consider time. As years pass, the kidneys slowly change, just like every other part of the body. In youth, kidney tissue is dense, resilient, and highly efficient. Blood flows easily through millions of tiny filters called nephrons. Each nephron works like a microscopic sieve, filtering blood with speed and accuracy. But with age, some of these nephrons naturally wear out. They do not regenerate. Little by little, filtering capacity decreases, often without any noticeable symptoms at first. This gradual decline is one reason kidney problems are more common in elderly people. Aging reduces blood flow to the kidneys, making them more sensitive to dehydration, medications, and illnesses. The kidneys also become less responsive to hormonal signals, meaning they struggle more to maintain fluid and electrolyte balance. Even mild stress, a short illness, a missed glass of water, or certain painkillers can place a heavier burden on aging kidneys than on younger ones. Chronic conditions also accumulate over time. High blood pressure slowly damages the delicate blood vessels inside the kidneys, narrowing them, reducing filtration, and increasing strain. Diabetes exposes kidney tissue to elevated glucose levels for years, slowly injuring nephrons and impairing their function. These conditions are far more common in older adults, which explains why kidney disease often appears later in life rather than suddenly in youth. Medications play a role as well. Many elderly people take multiple prescriptions daily. While these medicines are often necessary, the kidneys must process and eliminate many of them. Over decades, repeated exposure can add subtle stress, especially if hydration is low or kidney reserve is already reduced. This is why kidney health requires careful monitoring as people age, even when no pain or discomfort is present. As you rest, imagine the kidneys working more slowly but still faithfully, adapting to the passage of time. They are resilient, but they depend on gentle care. Adequate hydration keeps blood flowing smoothly through their filters. Balanced nutrition reduces metabolic waste. Stable blood pressure and controlled blood sugar protect fragile structures from long-term damage. Sleep itself plays a role, allowing hormonal rhythms to reset and giving the kidneys a calmer internal environment in which to function. Kidney problems often develop silently. There is rarely pain in early stages. Instead, changes appear gradually: fatigue, swelling, altered urination, subtle shifts in blood chemistry. This quiet progression is why kidney disease is sometimes called a silent condition, especially in older adults. Yet with awareness and care, decline can be slowed and function preserved for many years. As your breathing deepens, let your mind picture the kidneys as patient watchers, filtering, balancing, adjusting, never rushing, never stopping. They remind us that health is not loud or dramatic, but steady and continuous. Supporting them means respecting rest, hydration, moderation, and time itself. As you remain in this calm, unbroken flow, let your awareness drift even deeper into the quiet intelligence of the kidneys, organs that do not think in words or images, yet constantly make decisions more precise than conscious thought. They are ancient regulators, shaped by evolution to protect life in environments where water, salt, and food were never guaranteed. Long before modern diets, long before long lifespans, the kidneys learned how to conserve, release, and adapt, and that ancient wisdom still guides them now. Each kidney is built from millions of tiny filtering units called nephrons, delicate yet resilient structures that quietly separate what the body needs from what it must let go. Blood enters these filters under gentle pressure, and within moments, waste products are drawn away while water, electrolytes, and nutrients are carefully returned to circulation. This process repeats endlessly, hour after hour, day after day, without pause, without awareness, without complaint. Even during sleep, even during illness, even during moments of stress, the kidneys continue their steady rhythm. Over time, however, the number of functioning nephrons slowly decreases. This is a natural process of aging, not a sudden loss, but a gradual thinning of reserve. In youth, the kidneys work far below their maximum capacity with abundant backup. In older age, that margin narrows. The kidneys can still perform their duties well, but they have less room to compensate for sudden changes such as dehydration, infection, medication, or illness. This is why older bodies respond more strongly to things that once passed unnoticed. Medications themselves become an important part of this story. Many drugs are processed or excreted through the kidneys, and with age, the same dose can linger longer in the bloodstream. The kidneys are patient, but they are not limitless. Repeated exposure to substances that must be filtered, especially without adequate hydration, gradually increases their workload. This is not damage in the dramatic sense, but accumulation, like weight added slowly to a structure that was never designed for constant strain. The kidneys also speak constantly with hormones, acting as messengers as much as filters. They help regulate blood pressure by controlling fluid volume and releasing signals that tighten or relax blood vessels. They influence red blood cell production by signaling the bone marrow when oxygen levels are low. They assist in activating vitamin D, supporting bone strength and mineral balance. When kidney function declines, these conversations grow quieter, and the effects appear far beyond the urinary system, touching energy levels, circulation, bones, and even mood. There's also a subtle emotional dimension tied to kidney health, one that ancient traditions noticed long before modern medicine could measure it. The kidneys respond to prolonged fear, insecurity, and chronic stress, states that keep the nervous system in alert mode. In such conditions, blood flow shifts away from restorative processes and toward survival pathways. Over years, this constant vigilance subtly alters kidney circulation. Calm, safety, and regular rest reverse this pattern, reminding the body that it does not need to defend itself at every moment. Hydration, often overlooked, becomes one of the simplest yet most powerful supports for kidney health. Water dilutes waste, reduces strain on filters, and maintains gentle flow through delicate structures. Yet thirst cues weaken with age, and many older people drink less than their kidneys require. The body adapts quietly at first, concentrating urine more strongly, but over time this adaptation has limits. Regular, mindful hydration becomes an act of care rather than habit. As you rest here, imagine the kidneys surrounded by warmth and steady flow, not rushed, not pressured, not burdened. Picture each nephron doing its work smoothly, releasing what is no longer needed, preserving what sustains you. The body was designed for balance, not extremes, and the kidneys are masters of that balance. Kidney health is rarely about sudden collapse. It is about accumulation, rhythm, and respect for limits. When given consistency, rest, hydration, and gentle support, the kidneys respond with remarkable loyalty, continuing their work quietly well into later life. And as your breathing slows further, let this understanding settle deep within you, not as information, but as reassurance, knowing that even now as you rest, your kidneys are working calmly, faithfully, and wisely, keeping your inner world steady and at peace. As this calm awareness continues, the kidneys remain steady, responding not to urgency but to rhythm, to repetition, to the quiet consistency of daily life. They are organs that thrive on predictability. Regular meals, regular rest, regular movement, regular hydration. When life becomes irregular, when sleep shortens, when stress stretches on without pause, the kidneys adapt at first, compensating silently, drawing deeper on their reserves. They are generous in this way, offering support long before asking for attention. Over years, however, that generosity can turn into fatigue. The filters still work, but more slowly. The signals they send to other systems soften. The body may begin to hold fluid a little longer, pressure may rise slightly, toxins may linger just a bit more than before. None of this announces itself loudly. Kidney changes are often quiet, unfolding beneath the surface, which is why they are so often discovered later rather than sooner. Diet plays a subtle but powerful role in this process. Excess salt asks the kidneys to work harder to maintain balance, pulling water into the bloodstream, increasing pressure within delicate vessels. Too much protein, especially without sufficient water, increases waste products that must be filtered. Highly processed foods introduce compounds the kidneys were never designed to handle in large quantities. None of these factors act alone. They accumulate, layering gently but persistently over time. At the same time, the kidneys are deeply connected to circulation. Healthy blood flow nourishes the filters, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues that work continuously. Conditions that affect blood vessels, such as long-standing high blood pressure or diabetes, slowly alter the architecture of kidney tissue. Tiny vessels stiffen, filters thicken, exchange becomes less efficient. These changes mirror what happens throughout the body with age, but the kidneys feel them sooner because of their constant exposure to flowing blood. Movement, even gentle movement, supports kidney health by improving circulation and reducing stagnation. Walking, stretching, light activity encourage blood to move evenly, preventing prolonged pressure on fragile vessels. Stillness has its place too. Deep rest allows the nervous system to settle, shifting the body from survival mode into repair. In this state, kidney blood flow improves, inflammation decreases, and filtration becomes smoother. Sleep, especially, offers the kidneys a kind of quiet renewal. During deep sleep, hormonal patterns shift, blood pressure lowers, and the body enters a state of internal housekeeping. Waste products that accumulated during the day are processed more efficiently. Fluid balance resets. The kidneys take advantage of this slower pace, refining their work without interruption. Chronic sleep deprivation removes this window of recovery, gradually increasing strain. As you rest now, breathing slow and unforced, imagine the kidneys bathed in gentle circulation, neither rushed nor restricted. Imagine them receiving exactly what they need, no more, no less. This balance is what they seek above all else, not extremes, not perfection, simply steadiness. Kidney health is not separate from the rest of the body. It reflects how the entire system has been treated over time. Stress, nourishment, rest, movement, and emotional safety all leave their imprint. When the body feels supported, the kidneys respond with quiet resilience. When life becomes harsh or unpredictable, they adapt as long as they can. And so, in this moment of stillness, let the body remember that care does not have to be dramatic. It can be simple: a glass of water, a slow walk, a night of rest, a pause in worry. These small signals tell the kidneys that the world is safe enough, that balance can be maintained, that their long, patient work is valued. As your awareness softens further, allow this understanding to fade gently into the background, just as the kidneys themselves remain in the background of your life, working silently, steadily, faithfully, keeping your inner environment clear, calm, and quietly alive as you drift deeper into rest. As the quiet continues, the kidneys remain unchanged in their devotion, responding not to thought but to environment, to the subtle cues carried through blood and nerves. They do not ask for attention, yet they are always listening. Listening to pressure, to chemistry, to the long story written in your tissues over decades. In younger bodies, this story is still short, the pages clean, the margins wide. In older bodies, the story is richer, heavier with experience, and the kidneys read every line. One of the reasons kidney problems appear more often later in life is not simply time itself, but exposure. Exposure to years of fluctuating blood sugar, repeated dehydration, long-term medication use, and unrelieved stress. Each event leaves a faint mark, barely noticeable on its own, yet together they shape how easily the kidneys can adapt. What once required little effort now requires careful management, not because the kidneys have failed, but because they have carried so much for so long. The immune system also interacts closely with kidney health. Inflammation, especially low-grade inflammation that persists quietly over years, subtly alters kidney tissue. Filters become less flexible. Communication between cells slows. The kidneys were designed to filter waste, not to live in a state of constant immune activation. When inflammation settles, kidney function often stabilizes, sometimes improving simply because the environment becomes calmer. There is also a natural change in muscle mass with age, and this affects kidney markers in the blood. Less muscle produces different waste patterns, which can complicate how kidney function is measured and understood. This reminds us that kidneys never operate in isolation. They are woven into the entire body, responding to shifts in strength, movement, and metabolism. Hydration patterns change as well. Many older adults limit fluid intake out of habit or convenience, sometimes to avoid nighttime waking or discomfort. Yet the kidneys depend on flow. Without sufficient water, they concentrate waste more heavily, increasing strain on filters. Gentle, steady hydration throughout the day supports them far better than large amounts taken all at once. There is something profoundly reassuring about the kidney's ability to adapt even in later life. They may not regain youthful reserve, but they often maintain stability when given consistent care. Many people live full, active lives with reduced kidney function simply because balance is respected. This is the kidney's quiet lesson. Sustainability matters more than intensity. As you continue resting, imagine the kidneys surrounded by soft, steady warmth, their work unhurried, their filters open and relaxed. Imagine blood flowing evenly, neither rushed nor stagnant. In this state, the body remembers that survival does not require tension, that efficiency does not require strain. The kidneys do not seek perfection. They seek harmony. When life becomes gentler, they respond in kind. And as this understanding settles into the background of your awareness, let your body drift even deeper into rest, trusting that even now, without effort, without command, these quiet organs are caring for you, balancing you, protecting you, allowing you to rest safely in the calm they help maintain. As the night stretches gently onward, the kidneys continue their slow, deliberate dialogue with the rest of the body, a conversation that never truly stops, only softens and deepens. They adjust not only to what you drink or eat, but to how you live, how you rest, how you respond to the quiet pressures of each day. Every small choice leaves a faint echo in their work, not immediately, not dramatically, but gradually the way water shapes stone over time. Within the kidneys, timing matters. They respond to circadian rhythms, filtering differently during the day than they do at night. In the daylight hours, when movement and activity are more common, filtration is slightly more active, matching the pace of life. At night, as the body grows still, the kidneys slow their rhythm, concentrating urine more gently, conserving energy, allowing repair processes to take priority. This is one reason uninterrupted sleep is so protective. It gives the kidneys a predictable window to recalibrate, to restore balance without interruption. As people age, this rhythm can become disrupted. Sleep may fragment, waking becomes more frequent, and the kidneys are asked to switch modes too often. Over time, this adds strain, not because the kidneys are weak, but because they are being asked to adapt repeatedly without enough time to settle. Supporting deep, regular sleep quietly supports kidney health in ways that are rarely noticed but deeply important. The kidneys are also highly sensitive to temperature and circulation. Cold environments constrict blood vessels, slightly reducing flow through the filters. Chronic exposure to stress hormones has a similar effect, narrowing vessels and increasing internal pressure. Warmth, relaxation, and gentle movement reverse this pattern, encouraging smooth circulation and easing the workload placed on delicate structures. There is a remarkable intelligence in how the kidneys prioritize. When resources are limited, they protect what is essential first, preserving blood volume, electrolytes, and vital chemistry. Less urgent processes wait. This hierarchy explains why early kidney changes may go unnoticed for years. The body adapts quietly, compensating until reserve is truly tested. Nutrition influences this balance subtly. Foods rich in natural water content, minerals, and fiber reduce the burden on the kidneys by supporting smoother digestion and steadier blood chemistry. Highly concentrated, heavily processed foods do the opposite, increasing the density of substances that must be filtered. Again, this is not about single meals, but patterns repeated over time, patterns the kidneys learn and respond to. Even posture and breathing affect kidney function. Shallow breathing limits oxygen delivery and alters abdominal pressure, subtly influencing blood flow through the kidneys. Deep, relaxed breathing improves circulation, supporting filtration without effort. When the body feels safe enough to breathe fully, the kidneys feel it too. As you remain here, resting, imagine the kidneys working in an ideal environment. Blood flows evenly. Pressure remains gentle. Signals are clear and calm. Waste moves away without resistance. This is the state they are designed for, the state they seek whenever conditions allow. Kidney health at its core is about relationship. Relationship between effort and rest, between intake and release, between stress and recovery. When these relationships are balanced, the kidneys thrive quietly, almost invisibly. When imbalance persists, they adapt until adaptation becomes strain. And so, as awareness softens further, let this understanding dissolve into sensation rather than thought. The steady warmth in the lower back, the ease in the breath, the sense of internal flow finding its own pace. Nothing needs to be monitored. Nothing needs to be fixed. The kidneys know their work, and in this moment of calm, they are doing it with ease, guiding the body gently toward deeper rest, deeper balance, and the quiet safety of sleep. As the quiet deepens even further, the kidneys continue their steady presence in the background, like two calm guardians maintaining balance while the rest of the body drifts toward sleep. They are never rushed. They do not work in bursts or urgency. Instead, they rely on consistency, on slow correction, on gentle adjustments made thousands of times each day. This is why sudden changes are difficult for them, and why long, predictable rhythms are so supportive. Inside each kidney, millions of microscopic filters respond to pressure and flow with remarkable sensitivity. They can sense when blood volume rises, when minerals drift out of range, when acidity shifts slightly. Rather than reacting dramatically, they make tiny corrections, releasing a little more water here, holding back a little sodium there, adjusting hormone signals that influence blood pressure and red blood cell production. These adjustments are so subtle that you never feel them, yet they shape how energized or fatigued you feel, how clear your mind is, how steady your circulation remains. With age, the number of active filters slowly decreases. This is a natural process, not a failure, but it does mean the remaining filters must work a little harder. When life is calm and predictable, this extra effort is manageable. When stress, dehydration, high blood pressure, or irregular sleep are added, the workload increases further. Over many years, this can create the quiet kidney difficulties so often seen in older adults, not because of a single cause, but because of accumulated demands placed on a system designed for balance rather than strain. The kidneys also play a role in emotional regulation, though this is rarely discussed. Through their influence on hormones and electrolytes, they help stabilize the internal environment that supports calm thinking and steady mood. When kidney function is stressed, people may notice subtle changes first, such as irritability, mental fog, or unusual fatigue. These are not separate from kidney health. They are gentle signals that balance is shifting. Water, too, becomes a quiet companion to the kidneys. Not in excess, not in scarcity, but in steady availability. When hydration is regular, the kidneys work smoothly, filtering without resistance. When water is withheld, even slightly, concentration increases, flow slows, and internal pressure rises. Over time, this repeated pattern leaves its mark. This is why small, consistent habits matter more than dramatic changes. As you rest now, imagine the kidneys bathed in a warm, steady current, free from urgency, free from overload. Blood moves through them smoothly. Signals are clear. Filters open and close with ease. The body understands that it is safe, that resources are available, that there is no need to conserve excessively or push too hard. This sense of safety is perhaps the most powerful support of all. When the nervous system relaxes, the kidneys respond almost immediately, easing tension in the vessels that feed them, allowing pressure to normalize, restoring a rhythm that feels familiar and calm. It is a reminder that kidney health is not only about biology, but about environment, emotion, and time. As awareness softens and thoughts grow quieter, let the kidneys continue their work without observation. They do not need attention to function well. They need rest, steadiness, and patience. In this quiet space, they are receiving exactly that, guiding the body gently onward, deeper into rest, deeper into balance, carrying you softly toward sleep while maintaining the delicate inner harmony that keeps life flowing. As you drift even deeper into this quiet inner space, the kidneys invite you closer, not to inspect them, not to analyze, but to sense their depth, their patience, their long memory. These organs have been with you since before you took your first breath, quietly adapting as your body grew, as your habits formed, as your life unfolded in chapters they never judged, only adjusted to. Deep within each kidney lies a delicate architecture shaped like branching trees, narrowing into finer and finer pathways. These pathways are not rigid pipes, but living tissue, responsive and flexible, opening and softening when conditions allow, tightening gently when protection is needed. This flexibility is what keeps balance possible, and it is also what makes the kidneys vulnerable to long-term strain. They are designed for flow, not force. Blood arrives constantly, carrying stories from every part of the body. The kidneys listen carefully. They read these stories through chemistry, pressure, and rhythm. They sense when muscles have worked hard, when stress hormones linger too long, when digestion has been heavy, when sleep has been shallow. They do not react emotionally, but biologically, translating these signals into quiet adjustments that keep the internal world stable. Over time, these signals accumulate. In youth, recovery is swift. Filters regenerate easily, blood vessels remain elastic, communication is crisp. With age, elasticity fades slowly, almost imperceptibly. Vessels stiffen, response time lengthens, and the margin for error narrows. This is why older bodies are less forgiving of dehydration, high salt intake, chronic stress, or poor sleep. Not because the kidneys suddenly fail, but because they have been adapting for decades. The kidneys also hold a deep relationship with blood pressure. They are not passive recipients of pressure, but active regulators of it. When pressure rises, they release signals that attempt to correct it. When pressure falls, they conserve fluid to stabilize circulation. This constant negotiation protects the brain, the heart, and every fragile capillary in between. When kidney function becomes strained, this conversation grows less precise, and pressure begins to drift. This drift is often the first sign that balance is shifting. There is also an ancient intelligence in how the kidneys evolved. Long before modern diets or lifestyles, they learned to survive periods of scarcity. They became experts at conservation, holding onto sodium, water, and minerals when supply was uncertain. In today's world of constant availability, this same skill can become a burden, leading to overload rather than protection. The kidneys are still living in an ancient rhythm while the environment has changed rapidly around them. As you rest now, imagine giving them a landscape they recognize. Steady intake, gentle warmth, predictable rest, slow breathing. In this environment, the kidneys do not need to defend or compensate. They simply maintain. Filters open smoothly. Waste flows out without resistance. Hormones settle into balanced patterns. The entire system exhales. Even emotional states influence this depth. Long-held fear, unresolved stress, and constant vigilance subtly tighten the vessels feeding the kidneys. Calm, safety, and trust loosen them. This is why relaxation is not indulgent. It is functional. It restores communication between organs that rely on openness and flow. As the mind grows quieter, the kidneys slip further into the background, doing what they do best when unnoticed. They are not dramatic organs. They do not announce their effort. They support life through silence, through constancy, through an unbroken commitment to balance. And in this deep stillness, that balance is returning, layer by layer, breath by breath, guiding the body gently toward rest, while the kidneys continue their ancient work, steady, faithful, and calm, carrying you further into sleep without asking for anything in return. As your awareness settles even more gently, the kidneys come into view not as abstract organs, but as living structures, carefully shaped to serve balance with quiet precision. Each kidney is curved and smooth, protected deep within the body, resting against strong muscles that shield them from sudden movement. This placement is intentional, offering stability and warmth, allowing their delicate inner architecture to work without disturbance. Inside, the structure becomes increasingly intricate. The outer layer forms a protective shell, while deeper within, countless tiny filtering units unfold like microscopic gardens. Each filter is made of fine membranes and narrow channels, designed to separate what the body can release from what it must preserve. Blood moves through these spaces slowly, giving the kidneys time to make thoughtful decisions rather than rushed ones. Nothing here is abrupt. Everything follows a measured pace. These filters connect to slender tubules that twist and loop, reabsorbing water, minerals, and nutrients as needed. What remains continues onward, gradually becoming waste, guided out of the body without drama. This system allows the kidneys to correct imbalances before they are felt elsewhere. A slight excess of salt, a subtle shift in acidity, a minor change in hydration can all be adjusted quietly, long before discomfort appears. Food plays a gentle but powerful role in this process. The kidneys respond best to nourishment that supports flow rather than concentration. Foods rich in natural water content help keep blood chemistry fluid and easy to filter. Fresh vegetables, fruits, and whole grains offer minerals in balanced forms that the kidneys recognize and manage with ease. These foods do not overwhelm the filters, they support them. Excessively processed foods, on the other hand, arrive with dense loads of sodium, artificial additives, and concentrated proteins that require more effort to manage. Over time, this repeated strain can narrow the margin of comfort within the kidneys, not suddenly, but gradually. Balance is not disrupted by a single meal, but by patterns repeated quietly over years. Certain nutrients help protect the kidney structure itself. Natural antioxidants support the fine membranes of the filters, while steady intake of potassium-rich foods helps regulate fluid balance and pressure within the system. Gentle protein sources reduce the metabolic load placed on filtration, allowing the kidneys to focus on regulation rather than repair. Hydration works hand in hand with food. Water allows nutrients to move smoothly and waste to exit without friction. When hydration is steady, the kidneys do not need to concentrate aggressively, preserving their delicate inner surfaces. This steady flow is especially important as the body ages, when tissues become less elastic and recovery takes longer. As you rest now, imagine nourishment arriving in forms the kidneys recognize and welcome. Blood flows calmly through the filters. Tubules reabsorb what is needed without urgency. Waste moves away easily. There is no resistance, no overload, no pressure to hurry. In this state, the kidneys are not merely surviving. They are thriving quietly, maintaining clarity within the body as the mind drifts further into rest. Structure and nourishment align naturally, and the kidneys respond by offering balance in return, guiding you gently onward, deeper into calm, deeper into sleep. As we drift further into the quiet landscape of your body, we turn our attention to the kidneys of older adults, organs that have quietly worked for decades, filtering, balancing, and regulating with precision. With age, the once youthful resilience of the kidneys begins to change. Their tissues, like pages in a well-read book, become slightly stiffer, less flexible, and slower to respond to shifts in the body. This is not sudden. It is a gradual process, a gentle transformation that occurs over many years, often unnoticed until subtle symptoms emerge. The number of functional filtering units, called nephrons, gradually decreases over time. Each nephron is a tiny, delicate structure designed to manage blood flow, extract waste, and maintain balance. As nephrons age, some lose efficiency, which means the kidneys must work harder to achieve the same results. The flow of blood through these units becomes less smooth, and the fine membranes that separate waste from essential nutrients slowly lose some of their elasticity. Elderly kidneys are more sensitive to changes in blood pressure and hydration. Even minor dehydration can place stress on the delicate filters, while fluctuations in blood pressure can strain the already aging tissues. This is why older adults often need to pay careful attention to both fluid intake and cardiovascular health. Subtle changes, like slight swelling in the ankles, fatigue, or changes in urination, may be early signals that the kidneys are under more strain than before. Over decades, lifestyle patterns accumulate their effects. High salt intake, repeated exposure to certain medications, and chronic conditions such as diabetes or hypertension all subtly influence the efficiency of the kidneys. Each of these factors nudges the balance, sometimes imperceptibly, until the organ can no longer adapt as easily as it once did. Yet the elderly kidneys are not helpless. Gentle care can preserve their function and slow decline. Hydration remains essential, but it should be steady rather than excessive. Foods rich in natural antioxidants, gentle protein sources, and potassium and magnesium-containing foods continue to support filtration and maintain electrolyte balance. Regular, moderate exercise improves blood flow, which supports the delicate nephron networks and reduces pressure that can accumulate in the renal vessels over time. Imagine now the kidneys of an older body working quietly, their structures slightly more fragile but still remarkably capable. Blood flows through the filters at a slower, more deliberate pace, as if the organs are savoring each moment of their task. Tubules reabsorb what is necessary with care, conserving energy, while waste exits efficiently, though with a little more patience required. The entire system has adapted to decades of service, balancing experience and caution. Understanding the gradual transformation of elderly kidneys deepens our appreciation of their role. They continue to regulate fluid, maintain electrolytes, and filter waste, all while responding to the subtle shifts of age. In this quiet exploration, we honor their resilience and recognize that with awareness, nourishment, and gentle care, even aging kidneys can maintain balance, supporting the body as it continues its daily rhythms and guiding us into deeper rest and calm. As we continue our quiet journey through the inner landscape of the body, we explore even deeper into the complexities of elderly kidneys. Over time, the delicate balance that these organs maintain faces subtle shifts, and yet they persist with remarkable endurance. Each kidney, about the size of a fist, houses around 1,000,000 nephrons in youth, though with age, some of these filtering units naturally diminish in number. This gradual decline is not a failure but a transformation, a recalibration of function in response to decades of work, stress, and adaptation. The renal blood vessels, which carry oxygen and nutrients to these tiny filters, undergo their own changes. Arteries stiffen slightly, and the smooth flow of blood slows, affecting the efficiency of filtration. The glomeruli, tiny knots of capillaries within each nephron, gradually thicken in some areas. This thickening can slow filtration rates, meaning that waste products may linger longer in the bloodstream than in younger years. However, the body often compensates, relying on remaining healthy nephrons to maintain balance. Elderly kidneys are particularly sensitive to sudden changes in hydration or blood pressure. Even mild dehydration can reduce the kidney's ability to filter waste efficiently, sometimes leading to fatigue, confusion, or swelling in the extremities. Conversely, too much fluid can strain these organs, creating additional pressure within the renal system. This delicate balance highlights the importance of maintaining steady habits, drinking water consistently throughout the day, and avoiding extremes. Nutrition plays a central role in supporting these aging organs. Foods rich in antioxidants, such as berries and leafy greens, help protect delicate kidney tissues from oxidative stress. Gentle sources of protein, like fish, eggs, and legumes, provide the building blocks needed for repair without overburdening filtration. Minerals such as potassium and magnesium help regulate blood pressure and fluid balance, while limiting excessive sodium intake reduces strain on the kidney's vascular system. The aging process also affects the kidney's ability to regulate hormones. The renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, which helps control blood pressure and fluid balance, may respond more slowly, leading to fluctuations that can impact overall circulation. The production of erythropoietin, the hormone that signals bone marrow to make red blood cells, can decrease slightly, contributing to mild anemia in some older adults. Similarly, the regulation of vitamin D metabolism may slow, affecting calcium absorption and bone health. showing that the kidney's influence extends far beyond filtration. Beyond biology, lifestyle and daily habits intertwine with kidney health. Regular movement enhances blood flow, supporting the nephron's function. Avoiding prolonged periods of inactivity prevents stagnation in circulation, which can burden the renal system. Gentle cardiovascular exercises, stretching, and even mindful breathing techniques can improve oxygen delivery and reduce the tension that often accumulates around these organs. Imagine, now, the elderly kidneys as vigilant caretakers, filtering, balancing, and regulating quietly in the background. They operate with patience, adapting to slower blood flow, compensating for lost nephrons, and responding to subtle changes in diet, hydration, and activity. Every sip of water, every nutrient absorbed, every gentle movement supports their work, allowing these organs to continue performing their essential tasks, maintaining harmony within the body. Even the simplest moments, like a deep breath or a pause to rest, contribute to kidney health. Relaxation reduces stress on the cardiovascular system, which in turn eases pressure on the kidneys. Over decades, these small, steady practices accumulate, supporting the organ's remarkable resilience. The kidneys of the elderly may not function at the same pace as in youth, but with care, awareness, and gentle habits, they continue to sustain life, filter what is necessary, and maintain the subtle equilibrium that keeps the body in balance. As we move further into the quiet world of the kidneys, imagine tracing the path of blood as it enters the renal arteries, traveling through branching vessels into the delicate glomeruli where filtration begins. In elderly kidneys, this journey is slower, yet no less vital. Each drop of blood carries with it nutrients, oxygen, and waste, and each nephron carefully separates what the body needs from what it must release. The tiny tubules then carry filtered fluid through twisting, turning channels, reclaiming water and salts, fine-tuning the balance of electrolytes, and ensuring that nothing essential is lost. Over decades, this precision begins to face small challenges: subtle stiffening of blood vessels, microscopic scarring in the filtering units, and a slight reduction in the number of nephrons, all of which quietly affect efficiency. Yet the elderly kidney adapts. The remaining healthy nephrons enlarge slightly, increasing their filtering capacity to compensate for the loss of others. This resilience is remarkable, a testament to the organ's ability to continue its work even as the body ages. The kidney's role extends far beyond filtration. They regulate blood pressure, maintain fluid balance, assist in red blood cell production, and manage mineral levels critical to bone health. Every function is interconnected. Every failure or slowdown in one area reverberates across the body. In this expanded landscape, consider the importance of hydration. Water supports the kidneys' delicate filtration processes, allowing waste to dissolve and flow smoothly through the urinary system. Mild dehydration, which can occur more easily in older adults due to a diminished sense of thirst, can reduce filtration efficiency and increase the risk of kidney injury. In contrast, steady, consistent hydration supports nephrons, aids in toxin removal, and helps maintain electrolyte balance, which is crucial for heart rhythm, muscle function, and overall vitality. Nutrition is equally essential. Diets rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds protect kidney tissue from oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, which accumulate over time. Foods like blueberries, kale, spinach, and nuts provide essential vitamins and minerals, while lean proteins, such as fish, eggs, and beans, support repair without overloading filtration capacity. Controlling sodium intake reduces strain on the vascular system, while ensuring adequate potassium and magnesium helps maintain proper fluid and electrolyte balance. Even small, mindful choices in daily eating can ripple through decades, preserving kidney function and slowing age-related decline. The hormonal functions of the kidneys also deserve attention. In older adults, the production of renin, erythropoietin, and calcitriol may decrease slightly, influencing blood pressure, red blood cell production, and calcium metabolism. This interconnectedness underscores the kidney's far-reaching influence. A subtle change in one hormone can affect energy levels, mood, cardiovascular function, and bone health. Supporting these processes with proper nutrition, regular movement, and adequate rest creates an environment where the kidneys can continue to function with resilience. Exercise plays a quietly powerful role in maintaining kidney health. Gentle cardiovascular activities like walking, swimming, or cycling improve circulation, ensuring that oxygen-rich blood reaches the nephrons efficiently. Stretching, yoga, and mindful movement reduce tension in surrounding muscles, which can otherwise compress blood vessels and impact renal perfusion. Even simple daily habits, like taking frequent breaks from sitting, enhance blood flow and support the kidney's ability to filter and balance fluids. Imagine now the internal rhythm of the kidneys as a gentle, ongoing pulse, a slow, patient beat that filters, regulates, and sustains life. In the elderly, this rhythm may be quieter, slower, yet profoundly steady. Each breath, each sip of water, each nutritious bite contributes to this internal cadence, helping the kidneys maintain harmony within the body. Over years, this steady care accumulates, allowing the organs to continue performing their essential functions, filtering waste, regulating pressure, and supporting the intricate balance of blood, minerals, and hormones. As we continue this journey through the quiet, intricate world of the kidneys, imagine the subtle changes that occur as the body ages. In elderly individuals, kidney tissue gradually undergoes small, nearly imperceptible transformations. The glomeruli, the tiny filtering units, may slowly lose their elasticity, and the number of functional nephrons decreases over time. This reduction in filtering units doesn't immediately cause symptoms, but it gently reduces the kidney's efficiency, making waste removal slightly slower and the balance of fluids and electrolytes more delicate. Despite these changes, the kidneys continue their essential work, adapting in quiet ways to preserve life and maintain homeostasis. Visualize the arteries supplying blood to the kidneys as gently narrowing over decades, a natural result of aging and accumulated vascular stress. Blood pressure tends to rise, and the kidneys must work harder to regulate it. This process, though subtle, contributes to why older adults are more susceptible to conditions like hypertension and chronic kidney disease. The kidneys themselves release hormones, renin, erythropoietin, and calcitriol, that influence blood pressure, red blood cell production, and calcium absorption. Any slight change in these hormonal signals can ripple across the body, affecting energy levels, bone strength, and cardiovascular health. Now, consider the daily influence of lifestyle on these remarkable organs. Hydration remains one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to support kidney function. Water allows the kidneys to dissolve waste products and transport them through the urinary tract, preventing the buildup of toxins. In older adults, the sensation of thirst diminishes, which can lead to mild, chronic dehydration. Even subtle dehydration increases the workload on the kidneys, making proper hydration a quiet, essential practice for maintaining efficiency and protecting against injury. Nutrition plays a complementary role. Foods rich in antioxidants, berries, leafy greens, and colorful vegetables help combat oxidative stress, which accumulates with age and can damage delicate kidney tissue. Lean proteins provide essential amino acids for repair without overloading the filtration system, while controlled sodium intake reduces strain on blood vessels and the kidneys themselves. Potassium, magnesium, and calcium from natural food sources support electrolyte balance and bone health, highlighting the interconnectedness of kidney function with overall well-being. Every meal becomes a silent contribution to the kidney's resilience. Exercise enhances kidney health in ways that are often invisible yet profoundly important. Cardiovascular activity, such as walking, cycling, or swimming, improves blood flow, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach every nephron efficiently. Gentle stretching and yoga relax muscles surrounding the kidneys, preventing compression of blood vessels and supporting fluid movement. Even small movements, like taking breaks from sitting or lightly bending and twisting, can improve circulation and ease the kidneys' workload. The body responds to movement, and the kidneys, like quiet observers, continue their essential filtering work with greater ease. As we explore deeper, imagine the internal architecture of the kidneys. the cortex, medulla, renal pelvis, and interconnected tubules forming a vast network where every drop of blood is filtered, balanced, and refined. Each nephron, though microscopic, performs an extraordinary feat, removing waste, reclaiming water and electrolytes, and sending the purified blood back into circulation. Over decades, even as nephrons decline in number, the remaining units expand slightly to compensate, a testament to the kidney's remarkable adaptability. In elderly kidneys, this adaptation is silent, often unnoticed, but it underlies the body's continued ability to manage toxins, fluids, and minerals with quiet precision. Imagine the subtle signals the body sends when the kidneys begin to struggle. A slight swelling in the ankles, a mild increase in fatigue, occasional changes in urination. These gentle whispers are the kidney's way of communicating, asking for attention before more serious issues arise. Understanding these signals, responding with hydration, nutrition, and gentle movement, is like listening to a delicate conversation between body and mind. It allows the kidneys to maintain balance and continue their work without being overwhelmed. Sleep, too, supports kidney function. During restful, deep sleep, the body shifts into repair mode, hormone levels adjust, and circulation improves. The kidneys benefit from this nightly rhythm, filtering efficiently and managing fluid balance with reduced stress. Poor or insufficient sleep in older adults can subtly hinder these processes, making regular, restorative sleep another quiet contributor to kidney health. Imagine now the cumulative effect of decades of mindful care. Consistent hydration, nutrient-rich foods, gentle movement, proper sleep, and attention to blood pressure. The kidneys, even with their age-related changes, continue to filter, balance, and sustain life. Each moment of care compounds, each action supports resilience, and the organs quietly perform their vital work without fanfare. They are steady companions, patient and adaptive, supporting the body's intricate web of systems while rarely asking for acknowledgement. As we continue to explore the subtle and intricate world of the kidneys, imagine the many ways these organs protect the body, quietly performing thousands of filtering tasks every hour. In elderly individuals, the risk of kidney conditions increases, not because the organs suddenly fail, but because decades of cumulative stress and small changes begin to influence efficiency. Conditions like chronic kidney disease, kidney stones, and reduced glomerular filtration rate become more common, but understanding the early signs and supporting kidney health can make a profound difference. Visualize the process of filtration itself. Blood flows continuously into the kidneys through the renal arteries, and within each kidney, tiny nephrons act as microscopic sieves. These nephrons filter waste, toxins, and excess fluids from the blood while selectively returning nutrients, electrolytes, and water. Over time, some nephrons lose their filtering ability, but the remaining ones compensate, working harder and expanding slightly to maintain balance. In older adults, this compensatory effort is delicate. Too much strain can lead to protein leakage into the urine or gradual increases in waste levels in the blood. It's a reminder of the resilience of the kidneys and also their vulnerability. Consider the role of blood pressure in kidney function. Kidneys regulate blood pressure through hormone release and by controlling fluid volume. As arteries stiffen naturally with age, the kidneys must adjust, sometimes triggering subtle rises in systemic blood pressure. Hypertension becomes a common companion in older adults, and when persistent, it can accelerate kidney damage. The kidneys and the heart communicate in quiet, intricate ways, each influencing the other, and maintaining healthy blood pressure is a silent yet powerful form of kidney support. Nutrition remains a cornerstone of kidney preservation. Foods rich in antioxidants, like blueberries, strawberries, kale, and spinach, protect delicate kidney cells from oxidative stress. Lean proteins, such as fish, poultry, or plant-based options like lentils and beans, provide necessary amino acids without overwhelming filtration capacity. Limiting sodium helps prevent fluid retention and high blood pressure, while naturally potassium-rich foods, bananas, sweet potatoes, and avocados, help regulate electrolyte balance. Magnesium and calcium support both bone health and cellular function, illustrating how the kidneys are deeply connected to every aspect of bodily health. Hydration is equally essential. Water allows the kidneys to dissolve waste and transport it smoothly through the urinary tract. Older adults often experience a reduced sense of thirst, which can subtly lead to dehydration. Even mild dehydration increases workload, thickens urine, and can lead to the formation of kidney stones. Visualize each sip of water as a gentle stream helping the kidneys flush toxins, soften concentrated urine, and maintain fluid balance. Hydration is not merely a habit, it is a daily dialogue with your kidneys, a way of offering support and care that they rely on continuously. Exercise enhances kidney function indirectly yet profoundly. Activities like walking, cycling, swimming, or gentle strength training improve circulation, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach every nephron. Movement prevents the blood from stagnating, reduces the risk of hypertension, and supports cardiovascular health, which in turn protects the kidneys. Even stretching and mobility exercises for the torso, hips, and lower back promote better blood flow to the renal region. Each motion is a subtle conversation between the body and these vital organs, enhancing resilience and efficiency over time. Sleep, often underestimated, plays a critical role in kidney health. During deep, restorative sleep, hormone levels stabilize, blood pressure lowers, and the body enters repair mode. Kidneys benefit from these nightly cycles as filtration efficiency increases and metabolic waste is processed with less stress. Disrupted or insufficient sleep can subtly impair these processes, making consistent, high-quality rest a key part of kidney preservation, particularly for older adults who may already face age-related declines. Emotional and mental well-being also influence kidney function. Chronic stress triggers hormone release, including cortisol, which can impact blood pressure, fluid balance, and overall organ function. Mindfulness, gentle breathing exercises, and relaxation techniques help reduce this stress, allowing the kidneys to operate with less tension and greater efficiency. Every calm breath is a signal to the nervous system and the kidneys that the body is safe, and in this safety, optimal filtering and hormonal regulation occur. Imagine the cumulative impact of decades of care: daily hydration, nutrient-rich meals, gentle exercise, restful sleep, and stress management. The kidneys, though subtly changing with age, continue to filter, balance, and sustain life. They adapt quietly, often without symptoms, performing the most essential work with resilience and patience. This continuous, silent effort underscores how vital it is to support kidney health at every stage of life, recognizing their importance and responding to their needs with gentle attentiveness. As we move further into understanding the kidneys, let's picture their place in the body, tucked beneath the rib cage, one on each side of the spine. They are roughly the size of a fist, yet their impact is enormous. The kidney's structure is marvelously intricate, each organ housing over 1 million nephrons, the tiny functional units that filter blood, reabsorb nutrients, and excrete waste. Within each nephron, the glomerulus acts like a microscopic sieve, filtering water, salts, glucose, and toxins from the blood, while the tubules return what the body needs back into circulation. Over time, some of these nephrons deteriorate due to aging, high blood pressure, diabetes, or lifestyle factors, but the kidneys compensate, working harder to maintain balance. This compensatory ability is remarkable, yet it also means that kidney decline can remain silent until significant damage has occurred. Think about the kidneys as the body's natural regulators. They manage electrolyte balance, ensuring sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium levels stay within precise limits. They regulate fluid volume, influencing blood pressure and maintaining cellular hydration. They remove metabolic waste products such as urea and creatinine, substances the body cannot afford to accumulate. They even participate in hormone production, releasing erythropoietin to stimulate red blood cell formation and renin to help regulate blood pressure. Each of these functions interconnects with other organ systems, creating a network of continuous communication that sustains life. When the kidneys struggle, subtle imbalances can ripple throughout the body, sometimes manifesting as fatigue, swelling, or blood pressure changes, long before a serious condition is diagnosed. The impact of aging on kidneys is multifaceted. blood vessels gradually stiffen, reducing blood flow and forcing nephrons to compensate for the decreased perfusion. Chronic exposure to oxidative stress over decades slowly damages kidney cells. Conditions such as hypertension and diabetes can accelerate this decline, placing additional strain on the delicate filtration system. Elderly kidneys often show a reduced glomerular filtration rate, meaning they filter blood less efficiently. Yet despite these changes, with attentive care, many older adults maintain functional kidneys well into advanced age. Understanding these gradual changes allows for interventions that preserve function, slow progression of disease, and enhance quality of life. Nutrition plays an extraordinary role in kidney health. Antioxidant-rich foods, including berries, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables, combat oxidative stress that can damage nephrons. Lean proteins, such as fish, poultry, or plant-based proteins like lentils, provide essential amino acids without overloading the kidneys. Limiting processed foods and sodium supports blood pressure control, reducing stress on renal vessels. Adequate hydration softens urine, aids in the elimination of waste, and prevents kidney stones, which can form more readily when the body is dehydrated. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish and certain seeds reduce inflammation and support cardiovascular health, which in turn protects the kidneys. Each food choice becomes a gentle act of support, feeding resilience and sustaining the delicate balance these organs maintain every second. Exercise, though seemingly unrelated at first glance, directly benefits kidney function. Regular movement improves circulation, ensuring that blood flows efficiently to the kidneys, oxygenating tissues, and facilitating waste removal. Physical activity reduces blood pressure, supports healthy body weight, and enhances insulin sensitivity, all factors that protect against kidney stress. Even moderate exercise, like walking, swimming, or gentle yoga, helps maintain muscle tone and improves overall metabolism, indirectly reducing the burden on the kidneys. Stretching and mobility exercises for the torso and lower back encourage better posture and circulation around the renal region, reminding us that subtle movements can create profound internal effects. Sleep, an often overlooked factor, profoundly influences kidney function. During deep sleep, blood pressure naturally dips, metabolic processes slow, and the kidneys have the opportunity to rest and repair. Chronic sleep deprivation or disrupted sleep cycles increase stress hormones, elevate blood pressure, and can subtly impair filtration over time. Ensuring regular, restorative sleep cycles allows the kidneys to process metabolic waste more efficiently, reduces strain on the cardiovascular system, and enhances overall resilience. Sleep becomes a silent ally, supporting internal equilibrium and promoting long-term health. Emotional well-being also plays a role in kidney health. Chronic stress elevates cortisol and other stress hormones, which can influence blood pressure, fluid balance, and renal function. Mindfulness practices, meditation, and gentle breathing exercises help reduce this stress, allowing the kidneys to operate with less tension. Each calm breath signals to the body that it is safe, creating an environment in which the kidneys can filter blood efficiently, regulate hormones, and maintain balance. This connection between mind and organ health highlights the holistic nature of kidney care, emphasizing that wellness is not solely about physical intervention, but also mental and emotional support. Visualize each day as an opportunity to nurture your kidneys. Every meal rich in antioxidants, every glass of water, every movement, every deep breath, and every hour of restful sleep becomes part of a continuous dialogue with these vital organs. Even small, consistent habits contribute to resilience, allowing the kidneys to adapt to changes, recover from minor stress, and maintain the essential processes that sustain life. The kidneys are patient workers, performing tirelessly in the background, and our awareness and care provide the gentle guidance they need to continue their silent labor efficiently. As we continue to explore the delicate world of the kidneys, imagine tracing the flow of blood as it enters each organ through the renal arteries. The blood carries nutrients, hormones, and waste, moving with steady rhythm as the kidneys filter it meticulously. Inside, the nephrons work tirelessly, each glomerulus acting as a sieve, separating the tiniest particles, deciding what the body keeps and what must be released. Over time, the cumulative impact of years of filtration can leave these tiny structures less efficient, particularly in elderly adults whose vascular systems have stiffened and whose nephrons have gradually declined in number. Yet even with this decline, the kidneys continue their vital work, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the human body. Consider how subtle lifestyle factors accumulate over decades, shaping kidney health. Chronic hypertension, if left unchecked, gradually damages the delicate vessels within the kidneys, narrowing them, reducing blood flow, and causing nephrons to work harder to maintain filtration. Elevated blood sugar from years of uncontrolled diabetes can similarly injure the kidneys' filtering units, causing scarring and reducing efficiency. Even minor habits, like occasional dehydration or excessive sodium intake, may not seem consequential day to day, yet over time they create micro-stresses that the kidneys must manage, often silently. This quiet, persistent strain illustrates why elderly adults are more prone to kidney problems. The organs have carried a lifetime of cumulative burdens, adjusting as best they can, sometimes until function declines enough to manifest noticeable symptoms. Understanding kidney structure helps illuminate why these organs are so vulnerable yet so resilient. Each kidney contains an intricate network of tubules, collecting ducts and blood vessels, all wrapped in protective connective tissue. The cortex, outer layer, is rich with glomeruli, filtering blood, while the medulla, inner region, concentrates urine, preserving water balance. As we age, structural changes occur. The cortical tissue thins slightly, nephrons decrease in number, and the renal arteries stiffen, altering blood flow dynamics. Despite these subtle alterations, many people retain sufficient kidney function to live full, active lives. The body's ability to adapt is remarkable, and it reminds us that proactive care can slow or mitigate age-related decline. Nutrition continues to play a central role in kidney longevity. A diet emphasizing fresh fruits and vegetables, adequate hydration, and moderate protein intake supports filtration and reduces the buildup of waste products. Foods high in antioxidants, such as berries and leafy greens, combat oxidative stress that gradually damages nephron structures. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish or seeds, decrease inflammation in both blood vessels and renal tissue. Limiting processed foods and excessive sodium helps control blood pressure, a critical factor in preserving renal health. Each mindful choice in daily eating becomes an act of support, reducing cumulative stress on the kidneys and allowing them to maintain balance and efficiency. Exercise complements dietary habits, offering another layer of protection. Regular movement improves cardiovascular health, ensuring consistent blood flow to the kidneys and oxygen delivery to their tissues. Walking, swimming, yoga, or gentle strength exercises enhance circulation, reduce blood pressure, and promote metabolic stability, all of which indirectly relieve the kidney's workload. Even simple stretches and mobility exercises for the lower back and torso encourage fluid dynamics, supporting the organs' natural rhythms. Over time, consistent activity cultivates resilience, allowing the kidneys to continue their silent labor with greater ease. Sleep is equally essential for kidney maintenance. During deep, restorative sleep, the body reduces blood pressure, slows metabolic processes, and permits organs to repair and recalibrate. The kidneys, operating around the clock, benefit from these periods of reduced systemic stress. Chronic sleep disruption elevates stress hormones, impairs blood pressure regulation, and can subtly affect filtration efficiency. Prioritizing restful, regular sleep cycles creates a protective environment in which the kidneys can function optimally, highlighting the interconnectedness of sleep, cardiovascular health, and renal resilience. Emotional well-being subtly influences kidney function as well. Persistent stress increases cortisol levels, which can indirectly elevate blood pressure and alter fluid balance. Mindfulness, meditation, and controlled breathing create an environment of calm, signaling to the body that it is safe, reducing unnecessary strain on renal tissues. Each moment of mental stillness encourages the kidneys to operate smoothly, illustrating the profound connection between mind, body, and organ health. Recognizing that emotional balance contributes to physical resilience is a key principle in supporting kidney longevity. Preventive care is crucial, especially for older adults. Regular checkups with healthcare professionals allow early detection of changes in kidney function through measures like glomerular filtration rate, GFR, creatinine levels, and urine analysis. Early intervention in cases of hypertension, diabetes, or other metabolic conditions prevents compounded damage. Awareness of personal risk factors, combined with lifestyle adjustments, creates a buffer against age-related decline. The kidneys, though resilient, benefit profoundly from proactive attention, just as any complex system thrives with thoughtful maintenance. As we contemplate the kidney's journey through life, it becomes evident that these small, fist-sized organs wield extraordinary influence. They regulate fluids, electrolytes, and blood pressure, produce hormones, and remove metabolic waste. Their work is continuous, precise, and silent, yet their well-being reflects the cumulative effect of decades of lifestyle choices, sleep patterns, stress management, and nutrition. By understanding their structure, function, and vulnerabilities, especially in the context of aging, we gain insight into how to nurture them effectively. Each healthy habit, a balanced meal, gentle movement, restorative sleep, or mindful breathing, becomes a gesture of support for the kidney's relentless, life-sustaining labor. As we move further into the quiet world of the kidneys, imagine following the path of blood as it weaves through the renal arteries, branching delicately into smaller vessels, finally reaching the nephrons where the magic of filtration occurs. Each nephron is a tiny universe, a microscopic labyrinth of tubes and glomeruli that separates what the body needs from what it must discard. Over decades, these structures face countless challenges: tiny injuries from high blood pressure, subtle scarring from prolonged inflammation, and the gradual wear of filtering billions of liters of blood. In elderly adults, the number of functional nephrons declines, yet the remaining ones adapt, enlarging slightly, working harder to maintain equilibrium, a silent testament to the resilience and complexity of these organs. The kidneys are not only filters, they are regulators, constantly balancing electrolytes, maintaining the acid-base equilibrium, controlling blood pressure, and producing hormones like erythropoietin, which stimulates red blood cell production. Over time, the efficiency of these regulatory functions can wane, particularly if compounded by years of suboptimal nutrition, chronic illnesses, or lifestyle factors. Yet, even as efficiency diminishes, the kidney's subtle compensatory mechanisms ensure that life continues, often without immediate symptoms, quietly masking early signs of decline until a critical threshold is reached. Understanding the anatomy of the kidneys helps illuminate why they are so vital and simultaneously vulnerable. Each organ consists of an outer cortex, housing glomeruli that filter blood, and an inner medulla, where urine is concentrated. This precise layering allows the kidneys to conserve water while eliminating waste, maintaining homeostasis across a wide range of conditions. As we age, cortical thinning occurs, nephrons decrease in number, and blood vessels stiffen. These changes subtly alter filtration rates, fluid balance, and the ability to respond to stressors. Yet the adaptability of the kidneys allows many people to continue functioning well, even with these age-related changes, provided they support these organs thoughtfully. Nutrition is a cornerstone of kidney health. Foods rich in antioxidants, such as berries, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables, help reduce oxidative stress that can damage nephrons. Adequate hydration supports continuous filtration, while moderate protein intake prevents overloading the kidneys with nitrogenous waste. Omega-3 fatty acids and foods with anti-inflammatory properties, like fatty fish and seeds, help maintain vascular flexibility and reduce renal inflammation. Conversely, high-sodium diets, excessive processed foods, and chronic sugar intake can stress the kidneys, exacerbating age-related changes. Every mindful meal becomes an act of care, subtly easing the burden on these organs that have labored silently for decades. Physical activity complements dietary care. Gentle, consistent movement enhances circulation, ensuring that oxygen-rich blood reaches the renal tissue. Exercise helps regulate blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and promotes metabolic stability, all indirectly supporting renal function. Even simple practices like walking, stretching, or low-impact exercises maintain cardiovascular health, which directly benefits kidney perfusion. Over time, these habits cultivate resilience, allowing the kidneys to function more efficiently and delay the progression of age-related decline. Sleep and rest profoundly influence kidney function. During deep sleep, blood pressure naturally falls, metabolic demands decrease, and organs experience periods of relative relief. The kidneys, constantly filtering, benefit from these periods of reduced stress, enabling minor repairs and recalibrations. Chronic sleep deprivation, on the other hand, elevates stress hormones and disrupts blood pressure regulation, subtly straining the kidneys over years. Prioritizing restorative sleep supports the natural rhythms of renal function, illustrating the intricate connection between daily habits and long-term organ health. Emotional balance, too, plays a role in renal well-being. Stress increases cortisol and sympathetic nervous system activity, which can elevate blood pressure and disturb fluid balance. Mindful practices, meditation, and breathing exercises cultivate a sense of safety and calm, signaling to the body that it can relax. In response, the kidneys experience less tension, blood vessels remain more flexible, and filtration processes continue without unnecessary strain. Recognizing the subtle interplay between mind, body, and organ systems reveals that kidney health is not solely a matter of physical care, but of holistic attention. Preventive health care remains essential, particularly for older adults. Routine monitoring through blood tests, urine analysis, and imaging allows early detection of declining kidney function. Interventions for hypertension, diabetes, and metabolic disorders prevent compounding damage. Awareness of individual risk factors and proactive management can slow the natural decline associated with aging. By respecting the silent labor of the kidneys, we provide them the best opportunity to continue their vital work well into later life. The kidney's role extends beyond filtration. They produce hormones that regulate red blood cell production and calcium metabolism, maintain fluid and electrolyte balance, and detoxify the blood. Their function underpins every major system in the body, from cardiovascular to nervous, and even influences hormonal equilibrium. Each small adjustment in lifestyle, whether through diet, exercise, sleep, or stress management, significantly impacts these organs' ability to sustain life. The narrative of the kidneys is one of quiet endurance, adaptability, and resilience, a narrative that invites attention, care, and reverence. As we continue to explore the intricate world of the kidneys, imagine descending even further into the microscopic landscapes where every nephron performs its delicate dance. Each nephron begins with a glomerulus, a tiny knot of blood vessels where filtration begins. Here, water, electrolytes, and small molecules are separated from the blood, while larger proteins and blood cells remain. From the glomerulus, the filtrate flows into a network of tubules, twisting and turning like a gentle river, absorbing what the body needs and secreting what it must discard. Over a lifetime, these tubules experience countless cycles of filtration, adjusting fluid, balancing ions, and maintaining the delicate chemistry that sustains life. In older adults, the number of functioning nephrons diminishes, yet those that remain often enlarge and adapt, working harder to compensate, a quiet testament to the resilience of the renal system. The kidneys are not merely passive filters, they are dynamic regulators, constantly adjusting to the body's shifting needs. They control blood pressure through the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, manage electrolyte balance, and contribute to acid-base equilibrium. Aging subtly shifts these processes. Blood vessels stiffen, cortical tissue thins, and glomerular filtration rate slowly declines. These changes are natural, yet they highlight the importance of supporting kidney health with deliberate care. Adequate hydration, balanced nutrition, and avoidance of excessive stressors can help preserve renal function, even as the organs adapt to the passage of time. Understanding the biological structure of the kidneys deepens appreciation for their complexity. The outer cortex contains millions of glomeruli, each a miniature filtration unit, while the inner medulla houses loops of Henle and collecting ducts, essential for concentrating urine and conserving water. This intricate arrangement allows the kidneys to maintain homeostasis across a range of environmental and internal conditions. With age, subtle changes occur. Nephrons decrease, vascular flexibility diminishes, and tubular function may slow. Yet the kidney's adaptability ensures that the body continues to function, often masking early declines until noticeable symptoms appear. As we continue this journey through the hidden world of the kidneys, imagine moving even closer into their inner networks, where each nephron functions like a tiny river of life, filtering blood, balancing fluids, and maintaining harmony within your body. In elderly individuals, these rivers flow more slowly, their channels narrowing and twisting with age, yet they persist, quietly performing their essential tasks. Tiny changes accumulate over decades. Glomeruli lose some of their filtering capacity, blood vessels within the kidneys become stiffer, and the delicate balance of electrolytes can shift subtly. These alterations rarely announce themselves loudly at first, often masked by the body's adaptability, yet they represent the beginning of gradual change that can impact overall health if ignored. The kidneys are remarkably sensitive to both the environment inside the body and external influences. Chronic high blood pressure strains their delicate vessels, while prolonged high blood sugar and diabetes subtly damages the glomerular structures. Even medications, when used long-term, can affect renal function. The interplay between these factors and the natural aging process explains why kidney problems are more common in older adults. Understanding these connections allows us to approach kidney health with gentle care, focusing on habits that nurture resilience rather than simply treating symptoms when they appear. Nutrition continues to play a profound role in this hidden system. Foods rich in antioxidants, such as berries, leafy greens, and brightly colored vegetables, help shield kidney cells from oxidative stress caused by free radicals. Staying hydrated ensures that waste products move efficiently through the nephrons, preventing accumulation and reducing the burden on filtration pathways. Balanced protein intake nourishes the body without overwhelming the kidneys with excessive nitrogenous waste, while healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, support vascular integrity and reduce inflammation in renal tissues. Avoiding excessive salt, processed foods, and added sugars allows the kidneys to work with greater ease, maintaining their essential balance quietly and efficiently. Beyond food, movement and physical activity contribute to kidney vitality. Gentle exercises, walking, stretching, or low-impact routines enhance circulation, ensuring a steady flow of blood to the renal tissue. This blood flow is critical. It delivers nutrients, removes waste, and sustains the nephrons as they filter, secrete, and reabsorb. Over time, consistent activity strengthens not only cardiovascular health, but also the kidney's capacity to adapt to age-related changes, reinforcing the quiet endurance that has allowed these organs to function throughout a lifetime. Sleep, too, is a partner in renal well-being. During deep restorative sleep, blood pressure naturally falls, metabolic activity slows, and the kidneys experience brief periods of relative rest. Chronic sleep deprivation disrupts these rhythms, raising stress hormones and subtly straining renal tissues. Prioritizing consistent, restful sleep allows the kidneys to perform their filtration with greater efficiency and resilience, highlighting the profound connection between rest, organ health, and overall vitality. Emotions and stress management weave themselves into this story as well. Chronic stress triggers sympathetic nervous system activation, elevating cortisol and blood pressure, which can increase strain on the kidneys. Mindfulness, deep breathing, meditation, and other relaxation practices send signals of safety to the body, allowing blood vessels to relax and filtration to proceed without unnecessary tension. The relationship between mind and kidney function demonstrates that caring for these organs is not only physical, but also emotional and psychological. an integrated process that respects the complexity of the human system. Preventive healthcare remains crucial, particularly for the elderly. Regular monitoring through blood tests, urine analyses, and imaging allows early detection of subtle declines in kidney function. Managing blood pressure, controlling blood sugar, and addressing cardiovascular health proactively help prevent compounded damage over time. The kidneys, although small and often unnoticed, reflect the overall state of the body, and attentive care can sustain their function for decades, preserving not only filtration capacity, but also systemic balance. As we delve deeper into these organs, we observe that their influence extends far beyond the simple act of cleaning blood. They regulate red blood cell production, maintain mineral and electrolyte balance, remove toxins, and even participate in hormonal regulation that affects blood pressure, bone health, and cardiovascular performance. Each choice we make, the food we consume, the movement we engage in, the sleep we prioritize, the stress we manage, resonates through these organs, shaping their efficiency and longevity. The kidney's work is quiet, persistent, and essential, a testament to the body's ability to sustain life in subtle, profound ways. As we continue to explore the quiet, steadfast world of the kidneys, imagine the nephrons, tiny, intricate structures within each kidney, working tirelessly day and night to filter the blood, remove waste, and maintain the delicate balance of fluids and electrolytes throughout the body. Over time, especially in older adults, these nephrons can undergo subtle changes. Some may shrink, their filtering capacity slightly reduced, while others remain resilient, continuing their work with a quiet, uncelebrated diligence. These gradual shifts often go unnoticed until the cumulative effect begins to manifest as higher blood pressure, swelling in the legs or ankles, or changes in urine patterns. Each symptom is a gentle whisper from the kidneys, asking for attention, care, and understanding. Elderly kidneys are especially sensitive because the body's vascular system changes with age. Blood vessels become less elastic, arteries may harden, and the pressure required to push blood through the glomeruli increases. This can reduce the efficiency of filtration over the years, subtly altering how the body handles sodium, potassium, and other essential minerals. Combined with lifestyle factors, diet high in processed foods, long-term medication use, or chronic conditions like diabetes and hypertension, these changes can compound, making kidney health a delicate balancing act in later life. Understanding these dynamics allows us to approach kidney care gently, integrating small but meaningful habits that support long-term function. Nutrition remains a cornerstone of kidney health. Fresh fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants help reduce oxidative stress within kidney tissues, while sufficient hydration ensures smooth blood flow and prevents the accumulation of metabolic waste. Lean proteins provide essential building blocks without overloading the kidneys, and omega-3 fatty acids from sources like fish, flaxseed, or walnuts support healthy blood vessels, reducing inflammation that can compromise renal function. Reducing salt intake, processed sugars, and saturated fats alleviates the strain on these organs, allowing them to maintain balance and efficiency even as age-related changes occur. Every choice of nourishment is an invitation to your kidneys to continue their silent, vital work with ease. Exercise enhances this internal landscape, promoting circulation and ensuring that blood reaches every nephron efficiently. Gentle walking, stretching, and low-impact activities support cardiovascular health, which in turn sustains kidney function. Each step, each controlled movement, fosters the rhythmic flow of blood through the renal system, allowing the kidneys to filter and balance the body more effectively. Over time, consistent activity reinforces the resilience of these organs, reminding us that movement is as crucial internally as it is externally. Sleep is another powerful ally for kidney health. During deep sleep, blood pressure naturally drops, giving the kidneys a brief respite from the continuous demands of filtration. Adequate restorative sleep allows metabolic processes to slow and hormones to balance, indirectly supporting kidney function. Chronic sleep deprivation, conversely, can increase stress hormone levels elevate blood pressure, and subtly strain the kidneys, making the case that rest is not merely a luxury, but a vital contributor to maintaining organ function over time. Stress management, too, weaves into this intricate picture. Chronic stress triggers sustained sympathetic nervous system activity, elevating cortisol and adrenaline levels, which can increase blood pressure and impose additional load on the kidneys. Mindfulness, deep breathing, meditation, and gentle relaxation techniques send signals of safety to the body, reducing tension in blood vessels, calming the nervous system, and creating conditions for optimal kidney function. The relationship between mind and body, stress and organ health, illustrates that kidneys are influenced by both the physical and emotional landscapes of life. Preventive healthcare cannot be overstated. Regular monitoring through blood tests, urine analyses, and imaging can detect subtle declines in function before they become significant problems. Managing blood pressure, controlling blood sugar, maintaining healthy weight, and avoiding excessive use of potentially nephrotoxic medications contribute to long-term renal resilience. The kidney's silent work supports nearly every system in the body. Cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, hormonal, and attentive care preserves not only their function but overall vitality. Understanding the structure of the kidneys further reveals their intricate elegance. Each kidney contains around 1 million nephrons, each a microscopic filtration unit composed of a glomerulus, a Bowman's capsule, and a network of tubules. Blood enters the glomerulus under pressure, allowing water, electrolytes, and small molecules to filter into the Bowman's capsule, while larger proteins and blood cells remain in circulation. The filtrate then moves through the tubules, where essential substances are reabsorbed, and waste products are secreted, ultimately forming urine that flows to the bladder. This system, delicate yet resilient, demonstrates a harmony of structure and function, a testament to the body's capacity to sustain life with precision and elegance.